I was like her demeanor, you know. Oh yeah,
Oh, God, no wonder. It'll just take me a second.
yeah. She's like, oh, you don't like me now? Let me look. Let me look. Oh, it's my hair, and then he rips her scalp, throws her out the car.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
This is my boomstick!
Swallow this.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head Show. Of course, my name is Lance. My co-host, of course, is the Arrow himself, Mr. John Fallon.
Hello.
And we have a new guest here today, all the way from France, Mr. Rurik. And I forgot your last name already, sir. What is it?
It's Sallé. Sallé with an
Rurik
accent.
Sallé.
With an accent.
Sallé.
Yeah, Sallé.
Yeah, the miracle of technology. Amazing.
Definitely. Actually, you guys should know that Rurik Sallé and myself have known each other since 2011, right?
I think 11 or 12. Yeah, I think the movie was released in 12. Yeah.
Yeah, we acted together in a movie called Dead Shadows, where he was my nemesis. Here's a clip of me and Rurik when we first met. Yeah, that was fun, right?
That was fun. I remember that very day was very strange because there was a lot of broken glass on the floor.
Of course.
And nobody had cleaned it up, and we were supposed to fall on the floor. And at some point we were like, what the fuck is that? That's real glass, you know? And we could have died that day, you know?
Yeah, in many ways. But it was still a great experience. And
Exactly.
Rurik and I remained friends over the years, and we've worked together. He scored a composition on my film The Shelter. He scored the soundtrack on my film Braek, my upcoming film Braek. And also Rurik is a bit like me, a jack of all trades, master of all. So Rurik is also an actor. He was a horror journalist. What was it for? Mad Movies, right?
Mad Movies, and before that, another legendary magazine. I think the oldest still running magazine in the world called L'Ecran Fantastique. It's like almost 60 years old or something like that. And then Metaluna and stuff like that. Yeah.
And you got something horror-wise as an actor that's going around the festival circuit.
Yes.
No.
Actually, it's a short film that I co-produced, but I'm more importantly, I'm the actor, the only actor in the film, and the music composer. It's a film directed by a guy named Pierre Renverso, and it's a free adaptation of Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, you know?
Nice.
And so it's got quite a bit of awards now. We have 51 awards now, so it's pretty cool.
That's a lot of awards, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
That's cool. We got to buy a lot of shelves and stuff like that, so it costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, we're in the film industry, so we're making a load of it, right?
Of course, everybody.
So before we jump into actually on this watch for me was a very odd watch, but a very interesting film. What are you gentlemen drinking?
I bought one of these really big things called Truly. It's one of those sugar-free, 5%ers. But I realized a while back, and it's been my little trade secret, that if you just put vodka in it, you could use a drink as an actual mixer. So I got the vodka, I got the alcoholic mixer, and I got a cool little Jaws glass from Universal because I don't have a Warlock glass. So
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Monsieur Sallé, c'est quoi que vous buvez?
Monsieur Sallé is drinking. Actually, it's a beer that we made with a beer maker. The team
cool.
the team that co-produced ZMIÉNA. We also made that beer with a beer maker, and it's a pretty insane thing. With I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's like a witch,
right?
And it's like a witch with a baby. Actually, the guy drew me. It's me as an evil baby. And the more you drink the beer, the more the belly of the witch is getting empty. So it's a very strange bottle, and it's usually I drink blood, but tonight I will drink that.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, actually. Well, I'm not as fancy as you guys, Mr. Baby drink, baby Rurik drink, and you with your drink with vodka in the drink. I'm just going for an old school Guinness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of a tap, which is what I prefer, but that's for
Very
time.
European.
Yeah.
Yes.
Desperate measure. So on that, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Nice to meet you guys.
Cheers to everybody watching.
Cheers to everyone.
Hello, my friends!
So let's jump into this week's movie.
Well, hold on, John. Hold on. Let's not forget, buddy, you have a question.
Oh, what's the question?
John, so the question is from Green Wizard saying, well, here's a question about the movie industry. How do people sell the scripts? I want to become a screenplay writer, and is it possible to get into contact with the production company by mail, or do you have to go through certain events?
To sell a script, one of them, yes. If you get a Internet Movie Database Pro account and you find producers or companies, let's say you have a horror script, and you find producers or companies and you find, their email addresses, and you reach out to them just with an intro, I'm blah, blah, blah. I have a screenplay that I think would work with your company. Let me know if, you're interested. Never send your screenplay out the gate. Never send a log line of the script unless it's asked for. This is my opinion, by the way. It doesn't mean it's gold, but wait for somebody to say yes. Yes, I'd be interested to hear what your screenplay is about. Log line. Always CC yourself or CC another account that you have, because people steal ideas. It's just a good way to keep a track record. So that's one way to go about it. You could also go to Blacklist, which is a site online. I've never used it personally, but I know of it. It's the #1 site online where you pay for a membership, I think, and you upload your screenplay, and producers look at the screenplays there. If they're interested, they contact you, blah, blah, blah. But in my experience, I'm sure Mr. Rurik can attest. For me, the way I've done it is contacts. It's just, the film industry is all about who you know, over talent, who you know. If you have the opportunity to go to events, to go to film premieres, to go to film markets, to go to film festivals, which are a great place for me, and I'm sure for you too, Rurik, to meet people and network, that's the way to go about it. Without further ado, Warlock II.
Okay, so today then we are jumping into the great Anthony Hickox-directed sequel, Warlock II. Starring Julian Sands, of course, as the Warlock. And there's a couple, actually, surprisingly, random people in here that I thought was kind of awesome. Get the great Paul Marshall, R.G. Armstrong. You have the fucking captain, Steve Kahn.
I don't give a fuck, Riggs.
Captain!
Time was when this sort of thing would send me right over the fucking falls. I swear to God, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I mean, I know his name's Steve Kahn, but I will be referring to him as the captain going forward, because he'll always be the captain to me. He's my captain in my heart. And quick synopsis, though it's a sequel to Warlock, it's not really a sequel, and it's essentially a different Warlock, different story, different rules. But a Warlock's coming, is 6 days, gather these stones to bring back the devil, and these two teenagers who are kind of related to ancient druid cultists are here to stop him. And that is the great 1993 entry of Warlock Armageddon, or The Armageddon, I forget which one.
Same shit.
The theme might be important.
So I watched it this morning. Hadn't seen it in a long time. And for me, there was 2 movies in there. One movie was the Julian Sands show, which really, like, every fucking scene this dude is in, he just commands the screen. He just owns it. All the kills, are great, very creative, very inventive, reminiscent a bit of the kills in, like, the Wishmaster movie.
Yes.
So that's the part I loved. Every time Julian Sands showed up looking for the stones, with the Joanna Pacula from The Kiss, they have that little homage to Superman the movie, except it ends the way Superman the movie should end, with the fucking thing. Every scene with the Warlock just whacking peeps in very creative ways had me like giggling like a schoolgirl sniffing glue. But then there's another movie. And that's the fucking druid shit. With that welfare Conan prologue to then, these old dudes talking and healing and potions, and then the kids. Paula Marshall rocks, but that dude, Chris Young, I think his name was.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But I'll stop right there. I could easily, as usual, hijack the entire conversation.
Actually, to me, it's like one of the quintessential B movies. Every time I watch this movie again, a bit like Demons, by Lamberto Bava.
Oh, yeah.
But Demon is very cheesy and corny, and it's beautiful, but in a different way. They don't always know probably what they're really creating. But I think this movie, every time I watch it, I never get bored. I never get disappointed. I'm like, wow, that is still so amazing. I watched it when it was released on VHS, like straight to DVD, straight to VHS in France at the time. And I loved it. And I still love it. I watched it yesterday or the day before for the show. And I was like, fuck, that's amazing. And I tried to watch Warlock 1 just after that.
Yeah.
And it's Warlock 1 is nowhere near Warlock 2. The directing, the seriousness, the boredom, everything. Warlock 2 is it's a feast. It's all over the place. As you said, Julian Sands is amazing, and he's obviously having a lot more fun doing this one than the first one.
I believe your exact words were, "Here's your damned necklace."
And the directing is amazing because what I checked the budget. I don't know if it was true, but the number 2 was like much lower than that Warlock 1.
Yeah.
But to me, it looks like 10 times more expensive, which is amazing. And I think that's the magic of Anthony Hickox, because every time he has to shoot something, he will try to find a strange angle, a strange reflection in the mirror, whatever it takes to make the movie crazy and wild. And everything that Steve Miner didn't do in the first one. Steve Miner is pretty much like, there's a dude talking, he's going to put the camera, okay, talk, and you can see that Anthony Hickox is going to be like, okay, where could I put the camera? Maybe here. And then when you say that, I'm going to put it there, Another thing that we can talk a bit longer later, but is I think he knows that the special effects are not like as crazy as they could be. So he does what Stallone did in the first Expendables, which means that he cuts very short. The special effects, they don't take too much time on the screen, so they're not on the screen long enough to suck, and he really knows how to use a low budget. I think he's a master at this game, really. He learned from his father probably. But I know what you're saying about the druids and everything, but to me, really, I never get bored. But in the first one, I got bored a lot of times. And Hickox is a very funny guy. And the movie itself is very funny. And the first one wasn't so funny. No. But you say that all the murders, every time he kills someone, I mean, the script writers and Hickox were trying to create something new every time, and the right punchline for this murder. I mean, there's so much energy. And I read the reviews, the old school reviews yesterday, and I saw that a lot of people didn't like it at the time. And they said, no, the first one's better. I'm really surprised. Really, I'm really surprised.
To be very fair, this is something that, I have a hard time separating from nostalgia, though I'm an adult, so I could tell what's bad and what's good. And there's some definitely bad, but I've always absolutely loved this movie over the first, just because I think it really leans into that B movie charm. It's a lot schlockier, it's a lot gorier. And I agree, though. I think Sands is having a better time this because I think the first one, like, they try to make it like a fish out of water, sort of like epic tale, the witch and the witch hunter, which is cool and all. I dig the first one. I own it, of course. But for this one, it's like, no. You traverse the country all the way from New York to California and just murder along the way and wacky, crazy, like they go to the fucking carnival and it like makes, like Weiser Carnival. All of it's just really bizarre. But, he puts the guy in essentially a carnival hell. It's like, okay, I'm down. The Superman part takes the girl up. Not to mention, before he takes her up, we get like that great part in the dressing room where like Hickox is clearly just having a good time. There's like
Oh, yeah.
naked girls.
Oh, yeah.
dogs.
The fucking G-string, the titties,
exactly.
bang, bang, bang.
Julian Sands is buck-ass dick naked in the beginning, too. So the girls got the fucking Sands. We all come together. We hold hands. But I really enjoy just how wacky this one is. And I think I could make the argument that the first one probably in terms of structure and storytelling, it might be a better movie. Because, you know, you were talking about the budget. Part of me thinks that went all to Richard E. Grant's in that. Like,
Richard Grant, yeah.
Yeah, I bet he got like a good chunk of that money too. But this one lets everybody just have a good time. Like, you know, essentially the droids are the Jedi. They're doing Jedi mind tricks. The CGI is dog shit. We have the captain spouting really, really schlocky dialogue about like
World of magic, son, where nothing is what it seems to be. Well, I don't have an ulcer because I know when to say I don't give a fuck.
and then we got the Warlock scalping women, throwing them out of cars.
Oh, dude,
Exactly.
that was awesome.
The
That
prostitute.
The prostitute. What the fuck? I was like her demeanor, you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's like, oh, you don't like me now? Let me look. Oh, it's my hair. And then he rips her scalp. Throws her out the fucking car.
And it keeps the scalp too. That's the best part. He like shows it to her, then
makes
throws
the
her
map,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. But that means like he had to grab it and then use his hand to push her out, you know? Because he
Yeah.
would have flown out. So like he's a man who thinks.
Sometimes when you have a lower budget, then it ups creativity. You know, when you have more money, you don't take as many chances. And Hickox here, in terms of the kills, but also in terms of the way he shot it. Remember the scene when the captain from Lethal Weapon,
Captain!
and the other guy, they come with shotguns and they blow up the kid, you know? It's the way that shot, the slow motion, cut to Paula Marshall running, low angle. I'm like, holy, he's shooting this is like Peckinpah shit now. He's shooting the shit out of a moment. That really, you know, if it would have been Warlock 1, it would have been, you know, well, static, shot, reverse, that's it. And then, you know, the kid gets shot, and then you have like this, the camera's like, I don't know, maybe strapped it to his body.
Yeah.
He falls, he goes up in the air and falls.
Yeah.
The camera's strapped to him. And I respected that so much. The visual flair that Hickox brought to the picture really makes it come alive. Even, you know, the showdown at the end, the Western showdown, and he comes in.
The scene, you know, when he kills the art collector, and at some point, yes, that's amazing. And Julian Sands is really enjoying himself. And before he kills him, you know, there's
the table.
There's the table, and you only see their face in the reflections. You know, that's amazing. That's amazing. It could have been done much easier by shooting their face, but he said, no, we're going to shoot the reflections, you know? And it's always like that. It's always pushing and pushing and pushing to try to find new things. And I think it's brilliant at that, really.
I totally agree. Okay, I laughed out loud, like literally laughed out loud in one shot. Is the shot in the elevator with the Warlock hunter.
Yeah.
You know, he takes out the knife, and then, you know, you hear, I didn't remember the scene, and you hear him yelling, ah, and the door opens.
Sinclair Enterprises, may I help you? Just one moment, please.
It's a gore fest in the fucking elevator with his fucking limbs hanging, and he just walks out looking like the pimp he is, you know, and I was just like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome, dude. That is so awesome.
Split diopter, is that the correct word? Where he'll have the foreground focus, but then he'll have something else in the far.
Yeah.
He uses a lot of that,
Yes, and the directing is, you're absolutely right. I think the movie's not as energetic as his directing. He actually makes an energetic movie, because it's not. They're playing the field, spinning baseballs and rocks, and he's, you know, like walking up to a son with a shotgun, but like every time it's like, I almost think that it's like a kind of it reminded me a little of Sam Raimi's Quick and the Dead, where it's like these aggressive like zoom ins and like these cool low angles. It's like, this is a Western. That's all this is. At least half the movie's a Western, to be fair, in the town, because the town's a fucking Western town. I mean, it looks like it was built for another movie, you know? It's like, I always say it's hilarious because it's like it's supposed to be in Southern California, but I'm like, is this in New Mexico?
Yeah. Like the Michael Bay of horror, man.
Hellraiser 3 had the same sort of energetic directing. Both of the Waxwork movies. I mean, dude, Hickox is a man. Did he like piss off somebody? Did he steal money? Why isn't he doing more?
There's a Zach Galligan appearance at the beginning, you know? Straight out of Waxwork,
Well,
The opening,
you know, his suit and he's like black.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's a nice looking suit, like, you know, and he wears it very well.
very well.
I just want to comment real fast on the opening. Because, like I said, I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I watched it this morning with the girl giving birth to him, and then it's like a blob of whatever, and then he reconstructs himself as a man. Then she goes in the bathroom, and he flies up, you know, say something like, "Don't you want to meet your son or mommy," or some shit like that. And that whole scene, just that bit alone, is more entertaining than the first Warlock, in my opinion. Entire opening. It's so energetic. It's so fucking out there. And then a beautiful fucking thing Hickox did. So then he floats up. She won't let him in. And he lets out a cry, but like a baby cry.
Yes.
And everything blows the fuck up in the bathroom from a beautiful top shot with slow motion.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, where's the Kleenex, man? I just did my pants here.
What a beautiful idea to make him kill the woman crying like a baby, the baby that he is. You know, that's amazing. And that's funny because all the funny things that you see in Warlock 2, I think they didn't work so well in Hellraiser 3. You know, Hellraiser 3 is a great film, but it's too funny. It's like they're looking for the punchline. Every time there's a Cenobite saying something, there has to be a punchline. And it was too much in Hellraiser 3.
I agree.
But in Warlock 2, it was really like the right place, the right moment, the right movie. Everything was all right. But Hellraiser 3, despite the fact that it was very well directed as well, it was too funny, probably. You know,
It wasn't a Hellraiser movie.
It's too actiony. Yeah,
it's the McDonald's version of Hellraiser. That's what it is. You know, you get your Happy Meal, you get your little pinhead. So what about what you guys didn't like about the picture?
I don't have much to say about the things I didn't really like, but earlier you said that you didn't like the druids moments and everything.
Yeah.
It's true that it's not as crazy and powerful as the rest, but I think the rhythm is good enough for us not to look at the watch too much like, come on, shut the fuck up, Anthony. Move on to the next scene. Yeah. I was never really bored, and it kind of links every other Julian Sands scene together. So it didn't bother me so much. I don't know if I really disliked many things in this film. Apart from a few special effects, but it was okay. It doesn't really matter. Maybe the story was a bit strange. I didn't get what the rocks were all about. Like what were they used for? I didn't know.
Well, it was to open up the portal for Satan to come out, right?
Yes, and close it and open it.
Yeah.
You know, really, I don't have much to say against this movie. I think there's so many good things. So many good things. You know, I watched it again and I wasn't bored. And to be honest with you, I couldn't finish Warlock 1. I just stopped before the end, which is, you know, it's an hour and 45 minutes, and I had to stop it. I was like, no, I can't. Julian Sands didn't keep on, you know, playing the Warlock. That's something I dislike. So I don't know why.
Because Bruce Payne played the Warlock in part 3, which is a very different type of picture. I saw it when it came out. And when I was reviewing for Arrow in the Head, and I actually enjoyed it. I loved it. I really did. That was like, you know, a million years ago. So go fuck yourself. Okay. I did it recently.
I wish I could find it online, but I know it's not there. So
No.
Pop it up.
They're all gone. I covered my tracks. I remember thinking that it shouldn't have been a Warlock movie, but as a movie on its own with Ashley Lawrence, they're in a house, he starts manipulating people and shit like that. I remember enjoying it and perceiving it as an art film. That's the way I perceived it at the time.
I read some reviews saying that Bruce Payne was actually more articulate and, you know, wild and going to many more directions than Julian Sands was going to. And the director said that actually Bruce Payne was scarier than Julian Sands. I haven't seen it, but, you know, when I saw Bruce Payne in Passenger 57, I didn't think he had a lot of range at that moment. So I don't know how good he is as the Warlock.
As the Warlock, I definitely like Julian Sands better. It's his role. It's a shame he didn't continue it. I can take my eyes off him watching it this morning. Every time he's in a scene, he just owns it. He possesses the screen. He owns the screen. You ain't got shit on him. You put him against other actors, they ain't got shit on him. He fucking owns it. So, but you know, just to comment on what I didn't care for, I didn't care for the druid stuff and all that mumbo jumbo that came with it. It really felt like I was watching two movies in one movie. So it was the Warlock doing what he does, trying to achieve his goal, killing people on the way. And then you had, the through line, if you will, that connects that together. But it could have been another through line and still keep this the same about finding the rocks. It could have been something better than druids and training with baseballs. And, I don't know the guy in person. So it's just, I really did not like Chris Young. I'm sure he's a good dude, all that stuff. But he reminds me of an actor that I worked with. I wanted to take his fucking head and put it in the wall.
The Warlock way.
Yeah, the Warlock way. In French, we say "une face à fesser dedans." He has a face you want to smash. You can't. You know how sometimes you meet people like within a minute, if you like this person, even if you don't know anything about them. Hi, my name's John. My name is blah blah. And in my head, I'm like, I don't like you. And Chris Young looks like this guy I worked with. I really loathe. So that worked against him. Thank God Paula Marshall was there, because for me, she was a true hero. I think, that's it. I didn't really care for the druids. Actually, we didn't even need it. I just needed the Warlock to go and get the shit. That's it. Killing people on the way. Maybe have somebody hunting him down. But this whole druid thing, and remember when he goes to the gas station? One of the druid dudes is like doing like some spell and he starts fucking black blood,
Yeah.
And the gas station guy is like getting his fucking sprayed and shit like that, And I'm like, why is this guy not running away? Oh my God, you're bleeding. Number one, it's black blood. Number two, it's bleeding out of nowhere. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Why are you sticking around? So I thought that was a bit of a dumb move to serve the plot, because then he drinks his blood, but
But that was a nice idea. The fact that they thought that this spell wasn't working. Despite the fact that he was actually about to kill him.
Yeah.
That was a fucking nice idea. Fuck, it doesn't work. Fuck, and he was like,
it bangs it. Yeah. Biggest thing for me was clearly a good chunk of this movie was ADR. There's about 4 scenes where the character's mouth is moving and it's not the words coming. I mean, it's like bad ADR.
So much for my 70th birthday. So much for my 70th birthday.
I'll go get the hose.
Clearly, they didn't get room tone. Like a lot of shit like that really kind of annoys me. I could tell that, I'd be like, if I'm like, John, how's it going? It's like the old Godzilla films. There's a lot of that in this. And again, I'm being a picky asshole because I'm watching people's mouths. But it's just, I noticed that like half the dialogue is clearly not from the day on the set. And I always found that annoying.
They had a lot of it in the opening, actually. When the girl we're establishing the girl in the apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of it. I was going to say the true opening of the movie, I hate. I actually didn't remember it until I bought, because I think I'm one of the 4 people that actually bought the special edition Blu-ray that came out.
Oh, fuck. Good. Nice.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I got to support Sands. But I don't like at all like the really
Conan opening.
Yeah, but it looks like it was made for $10 to me and my friends in like the California hills. It just looks like shit. I almost think you could cut that out and just, because this movie, it is kind of sloppy anyway in terms of tying things together. So I don't care. It's a B movie. Just tell me there's stones, there's a fucking warlock. I don't care. Whatever. Like you don't need to be that specific, because again, Julian Sands is not even playing the same warlock. Like his demeanor's different, his attitude's different. In the first one, he's not just straight evil. He's curious. Yeah. He's a fish out of water. One thing that the first movie did better, in my opinion, that I wish they brought to this was he made spells in the original. And if you remember, he kills this little like 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, so for the fact.
Yeah. And it's like stuff like that. It's like I do think is missing here. But besides the dumb opening and besides a terrible ADR, I actually like a lot of the cheese. I like the schlock. I like this essentially as like a Jedi training movie mixed with a warlock. And I like Sands. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was super worried when this came out and I bought it. I like had a whole flashback of like watching this as a kid because I rented the fuck out of 1 and 2. I watched a couple interviews with Sands and he's like talking about Juilliard. He's talking about like being in the theater. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker hates the warlock movies. There's no way this classy bastard isn't looking down this, right? And so I watched like a bunch of interviews. I was like, come on, I'm looking for the bait. I'm looking for him to be like, well, I don't like him, or oh, this is my past. And there's this one of him, like, at some sort of con, very classy English accent. He goes, I really like playing the warlock. It was quite a fun experience. I'm like, good. Thank God. Thank God.
But let's not forget that Julian Sands was the main actor is one of Dario Argento's worst movies ever, The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Which was
Never saw it.
I think it was the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was actually
Fucking horrible.
With Asia Argento. I couldn't finish it.
No, that's horrible. That's real horrible.
What year? I'm sorry. What year was this movie?
Not that long ago, actually. Well, 2000s, I think, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe early 2000. It's on par with Dracula 3D. Like the two terrible things by Argento. I mean, he's done beautiful things, even recently, but these ones, man, a fucking piece of shit. It's horrible. I wanted to say something because earlier you said we were all wondering why Anthony Hickox wasn't heard of more.
Yeah, if you know more, yeah.
At the time, I was a journalist for a horror movie magazine before becoming full-time actor and composer, but I was still a journalist at the time. And he said that he got into a fight with Konstantin Film from Germany. And he said, Mr. Konstantin, I don't know what's his name, is a very powerful man. And because of the fact that I got into a fight with him, I was blacklisted. You know, he said that.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yes. He thanked someone, I can't remember who picked him up out of nowhere to give him more jobs. But he couldn't make films for years because of the incredible power of that guy. Like, as if I was fighting Luc Besson in French. Like I was saying, fuck Luc Besson, you know. Maybe I will find some anecdotes. But I think most stuff was about the problems he had with Seagal, the problems he had with the German dude, and things like that. I'm not remember what he said about Warlock II.
All good, man.
I'm not remember.
Well, I guess in closing, all right? We're closing, right?
We're closing?
All right. In closing, let us know what you thought of Warlock II, if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, grab a cold one, check it out, and let us know what you thought of it. I mean...
Let us know what you think of it if you haven't seen it. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's a hat trick, man.
What's Warlock II?
But,
exactly.
It's you know, at the end of the day, it's fun cheese, man. And the film will always hold a special place in my heart because of the visual style, the amount of effort that went into just the way that Mr. Hickox shot scenes is really elevated. Like, it's better than most shit we get today, in my opinion. And Julian Sands' performance, of course, who's just like, I'm not gay, but, you know, let's go, Sands.
But you could be.
I mean, that's a handsome motherfucker, man. That's a suave, handsome, confident, charismatic motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks great in black. And lastly, just the gore and the excessiveness of it. John Fallon drops from the thing. It could have just dropped and cut. No, boom, fucking blood splashing in people's faces, shit like that. Then linger on the glass, like, you know, going through her. I really enjoyed the excessiveness of the movie. Not just with the gore, just the overall moments of excessiveness, you know, even with the with the models, you know, bang an ass, bang a tit, bang, 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 you know, really like cutty. Right here, man, Warlock II, good fucking times.
Every shot that's in the movie makes sense. It's never nonsense.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it's very fast, you always know why he put that shot in the film. It's not like, let's put a lot of crap and people will, you know, check what they like, they don't like. It makes a whole, you know. It's really a director's vision. He's such a great guy, such a great director. Really, we shall never forget the most important thing: the end credits by Nuclear Assault. Something wicked, this way it comes. Man, come on! And you know what? I asked Hickox. I said, "You're using Motorhead for Hellraiser 3. You're using Nuclear Assault for that thing. So you like metal?" And he said no. So I don't know.
Any parting words, Mr. Velchek?
No. I said my piece. I think this is a great movie. I think people should support this. Really, it'll be probably out of print soon, Blu-ray. 90s Sands, like I said, Boxing Helmet, Arachnophobia, Naked Lunch, Warlock 1 and 2. There probably is another one in there I'm forgetting. He's amazing. He's a charming villain, almost always. Right? I mean, I don't know if you've ever played a good guy. Yeah, he's pretty much always a villain. Great villain, great movie, man. I always support 90s horror, and I support 90s schlock especially. So if you haven't seen this, give it a look. And if you don't remember it well, watch it again. I'm pretty sure it's streaming somewhere, Prime or HBO Max. So yeah, give it a look, man. I'm a big fan of Warlock too.
Well, Rurik, I want to thank you for joining us on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you. come see you in Paris, hopefully sooner than later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to.
I miss you, man. I miss you, bro.
I miss you too.
We always have good times. All right, guys. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.
Till the
Merci
next time.
beaucoup.
À plus.